We've heard the word retarded all our lives, and people have the nerve to tell us they're not making fun of us. In Minnesota, we're sick of this term, and we're doing something about it. This all started when a Minneapolis theater group thought it would be funny to use the word retarded in the title of a show.
I have always been a big fan of Brave New Workshop. It's fun political theater, they satire, they make fun of everyone. In April, I got the email announcing the new show, and I saw the title was Rise of the Celeb-Retards, which really hurt me. My daughter, many would consider retarded, a retard. When people use that word, like Brave New Workshop is using it, and they're calling celebrities retards, they're in effect saying, those people are like my daughter, and that's a bad thing. And my daughter's not a bad thing.
I'm old enough to remember when we mothers wanted our children to be called retarded or mentally retarded instead of what they were often called, which was idiot, imbecile, or moron. We were fighting for the dignity of our children. We were also fighting for services for our children, and we wanted our children to be accepted by society.
Parents and advocates have worked hard to make the world a better place for people with disabilities. Unfortunately, some professionals still use the R word.
It's a term that's accepted and often used in my profession, working with persons with developmental disabilities, as a okay term, but I feel uncomfortable with it myself.
I've been labeled ever since I was a kid. My sisters or friends or someone on the street would always label me as a retard. I know young generations now kind of use it as a joke, but I don't think that's right.
When the word retard is used, even in a joke, the focus of what people see changes. People see a disability, not a human being with feelings like theirs.
People from the Brave New Workshop declined to meet with us to discuss their use of the R word. So we asked their patrons what they thought of the word.
What do you think when you hear the word retard?
Well, it doesn't make me feel very good.
Well, to be honest, like shame or humiliation.
What do you think if someone called you a retard?
I think it's based on self-esteem.
The word's lost a lot of its, I think, original meaning. It's tossed around quite a bit these days.
One of the things that are just so potentially painful about a term like retarded, regardless of who it's being used against, is precisely the fact that it cuts to one of the most core anxieties in the human experience, a feeling of inferiority based upon one's mental facility to accomplish and to work in this world.
Feels like they're just degrading people who are born with
disabilities,
yeah.
Right.
I think that's a mean word.
Inappropriate term.
Would depend on how it's used.
It's really common with our kids and stuff. For them to, when you're being goofy, to say, "Oh, you're so retarded," but we know that they're not meaning mentally challenged as much as they're just. It's just like when they throw out the word, "Oh, that's so gay." They're not even talking about homosexuality. They're just using a word that.
I think if they took a moment and thought about what that word really means, all the history that word carries with it, and what it means to the people around them, that I think maybe they'd think twice, and maybe that they wouldn't say it.
You can never leave that past meaning behind. You can never completely divorce the use of a particular term, especially a term like the N-word or even a term like retarded, from its cultural history.
I kind of grew up with that word. Nowadays it's a little more politically incorrect, but it didn't bother me.
You were called that?
No, but I didn't know it was a bad word. Never knew it was a bad word until I got older.
I don't let my child say it in
Sure.
a negative way.
Shouldn't be used in a defaming way. Don't know if you couldn't use it any other way, I suppose.